far do you go on the first date? Hot topic for today for us here at Coffee Coaching Conversations. But have we want to explore with you where we think you should go on the first date. Of course, we are just experts in the field talking about this with you. You too have where you're at. I mean, you have your own compass. You have your own, heart and soul that you also um that you know where you feel. But I did coach someone recently who I had said to her, he can. So this was her asking for specific boundaries, not knowing because she had not been in the dating world for quite some time.
Mhm.
And she did know that in the past she went too far too quickly. So there's a little background. She said, "How far?" And I said, "Oh, like maybe a smooch on the cheek. I don't even know, a smooch on the lips. Coming to the front doorstep, if he is walking you home, so often though the first date you're meeting someone somewhere, but if for some reason it is happens to be because he's like a neighbor or something and he walks you to the door, maybe one little tiny smoochie, and that is where I'm stopping right there. And we will talk in this during this episode with boundaries.
Right.
But girls, what are you thinking?
I agree. I don't think, and I know it can feel really tricky when you're meeting somebody, especially if it's like, oh, he's so nice and he did this and he bought me something, bought me lunch or whatever, dinner, even if that's your first date, and you feel like there should be something, you know? Well, and there doesn't have to be, you're not obligated to show some sort of affection or do something, because you like this person or because he did something really nice for you. We don't have to do something. And I
Mhm.
think that honestly, that speaks a lot to the energy that we bring in these sort of connections, like this feeling that we have to do something, like we've got to earn whatever it is, or we've got to do something, to gain love. And it's worth sort of sitting with and saying, I'm just going to be appreciative, or I'm just going to enjoy, I had a great time. This was wonderful, that's it. And it speaks volumes, I think, to a man who is looking for somebody who is really high volume or value. Uh,
Yes.
yeah.
No, because it shows that you have boundaries. And I mean, every man adores a woman who has boundaries. And by just that tiny little smoochie on the cheek, and that is it, man, he is asking you out again. It just is that way. Men are hunters and they're seekers. And then that is creating that whole, oh wow, I kind of like that in that date I just had with that beautiful woman. I'm going to ask her out again. So you just wait. You get home and there's going to be a little ding on that cell phone and he's going to be like, "Hey, let's do this again." It really truly, gals, boundary setting is so huge. Emma, would you like to pop in?
So I was just gonna say I can relate to what you said, Abby, because that's why before I did all of this work, I was very keen not to let the man pay or to at least go halves or, anything like that because it's like I'm not gonna owe anybody anything. I was like, all of this is very, yeah, they were my thoughts. Um, because yeah, I didn't want to feel like I owed them anything at all.
Mhm.
But I think you're right. And it's another reason why we sort of say like the first date should be something like coffee, because
Mhm.
then it's inexpensive. It can be quick if you don't feel any chemistry or anything like that.
Mhm.
Absolutely have your boundaries about what physicality you're happy with. Um, and I know if there's a lot of chemistry, it's very tempting, but it's really important to remember that long-term relationships are not based purely on chemistry. There has to be so much more there. And you have to get to know the person before you know if it's gonna work. We all have those, like we've all been on those dates where like it's just been like, oh my goodness, that was so amazing. I've met my man. And then like
Mm-hmm.
later you're like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
And maybe a little bit of that started from the going a little further than a smooch,
Mhm.
because you've gone now into a little bit more of like a sexual relationship within the first date or two, which we're not recommending. We just are not. We're saying have a boundary. Do not be doing more than a handshake.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking about that, but I had
I know.
to.
yeah.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
and it will kind of also depend on you as a person, because some people are much more comfortable hugging and having physical contact than others. Some people very much like, don't come near me. And other people like my mom will hug everybody and anybody she meets, that is just who she is.
Mhm.
Um, so, there's lots of things to think about as well, but it is also about, try and not let the chemistry make you go further than you would if you were thinking rationally about it,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
leave him wanting more.
Mhm.
Definitely. Definitely. Leave him chasing.
Yeah, having someone to pursue. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I have anything else to add to that. This was good.
This was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. Absolutely.
We are so excited for you to join us next time as well. This was great, and I hope you got a little snippet of, a few something here, some tips that you can carry with you for your next dating experiences. And we look forward to connecting with you soon in our next episode, where we talk a little bit about dating in the new year. So we're excited. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.